Across our planet, there are vast, ancient kingdoms of green. These are the world's forests, complex communities of life that have stood for millennia, breathing life into our atmosphere. Today, we're embarking on a journey to explore these vital ecosystems, ranking the 10 countries with the largest forests in 2025. These are the giants, the custodians of the planet's greatest wooded realms, whose canopies stretch over continents and whose roots bind the very soil beneath our feet. This exploration is not based on mere estimation. Our data comes from the UN Food and Agriculture Organization's meticulous Global Forest Resources Assessment for 2025, providing a clear and authoritative picture of where these natural treasures reside. The significance of these forests cannot be overstated. They are the great regulators of our world, influencing weather patterns and shaping our climate in ways we are only just beginning to fully comprehend. They act as colossal sponges, absorbing immense quantities of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, a service that is utterly indispensable in our fight against a warming climate. Beneath their branches, a staggering diversity of life finds shelter, sustenance, and a place to call home. These are boreal worlds support millions of species, from the smallest insects to the largest land mammals, creating intricate webs of life that are both beautiful and fragile. Understanding which nations hold the largest share of this precious resource is more than an academic exercise. It is a profound reminder of our shared responsibility. The fate of these forests, and indeed the health of our entire planet, rests heavily on the conservation and management policies of just a handful of countries. As we journey through this list, from the boreal wildernesses of the north to the tropical rainforests of the equator, we will witness the sheer scale and majesty of Earth's green mantle, and appreciate the critical role these nations play in its preservation for generations to come. Our journey begins in South America, in the nation of Peru. Here we find the 10th largest expanse of forest on Earth, a remarkable 67 million hectares. Much of this vast verdant territory lies within the mighty Amazon basin, forming the western edge of the world's greatest rainforest. The Peruvian Amazon is a land of breathtaking biodiversity, where towering ironwood trees and ancient capocs create a cathedral-like canopy high above the forest floor. In these remote and often inaccessible regions, life flourishes in astonishing variety. Jaguars, the elusive ghosts of the jungle, prowl the undergrowth, while brilliantly colored macaws flock in noisy, spectacular displays across the sky. The rivers that snake through these forests, like the great Ucayali and Marañón, are the lifeblood of this ecosystem, teeming with piranhas, giant river otters, and the mysterious pink river dolphin. The forests are not only a sanctuary for wildlife, but also for numerous indigenous communities who have lived in harmony with this environment for centuries, their cultures and traditions deeply interwoven with the rhythms of the jungle. Peru's position on this list highlights its critical role as a guardian of the Amazon, a responsibility made all the more challenging by the ever-present pressures of mining, logging, and agricultural expansion creeping at its borders. We travel now to the Indian subcontinent, to a nation of immense human population and, perhaps surprisingly to some, immense forests. India holds the 9th position, with 73 million hectares of forested land. This is not one single homogeneous forest, but a rich and varied mosaic of ecosystems, from the mangrove swamps of the Sundarbans, home to the Royal Bengal tiger, to the temperate forests of the Himalayas, where one might glimpse the rare and elusive snow leopard. India's forests are a testament to a long history of coexistence between humanity and the natural world, a relationship that is both complex and deeply ingrained in the country's culture. These forests are vital, providing essential resources for millions of people and forming the headwaters for the great rivers that sustain the plains below. In recent decades, India has embarked on ambitious efforts to expand and protect its green cover, recognizing the crucial role these woodlands play in maintaining ecological balance and mitigating climate change. The challenge is immense, to balance the needs of a growing population with the imperative of conservation. Yet, the continued presence of these 73 million hectares, a sanctuary for Asian elephants, one-horned rhinoceroses, and a dazzling array of birdlife, demonstrates a profound and ongoing commitment to preserving the nation's natural heritage. Our voyage now takes us to the sprawling archipelago of Indonesia, a nation of over 17,000 islands draped across the equator. It is here that we find the world's 8th largest forest area, covering some 96 million hectares. These are some of the most biodiverse rainforests on the planet, second only to the Amazon. The islands of Borneo and Sumatra in particular are legendary for their biological richness. This is the domain of the orangutan, the gentle red ape that spends its life in the high canopy, moving with a slow, deliberate grace through a world of hanging vines and giant tropical leaves. But this paradise is under severe threat. The immense value of these forests is matched only by their vulnerability. Large-scale logging operations and the relentless expansion of plantations for palm oil and pulpwood have taken a heavy toll, pushing many species, including the Sumatran tiger and rhinoceros, to the very brink of extinction. The peat swamp forests of Indonesia are also globally significant, storing vast amounts of carbon in their waterlogged soils. When these forests are cleared and drained, that carbon is released into the atmosphere, making Indonesia a major contributor to global greenhouse gas emissions. The fate of these 96 million hectares hangs precariously in the balance. We journey south, across the ocean, to the island continent of Australia. Ranking 7th, this vast and ancient landmass holds 134 million hectares of forest. Australian forests are unlike any other on Earth, uniquely adapted to the continent's often harsh and arid climate. They are dominated by the iconic eucalyptus, or gum tree, with over 700 different species painting the landscape in shades of silver, green, and blue-grey. These forests are not the dense, humid jungles of the tropics, but are often open, sun-drenched woodlands, their air filled with the distinctive medicinal scent of eucalyptus oil. From the towering mountain ash forests of Victoria, which are among the tallest flowering plants in the world, to the sprawling woodlands of the outback, these ecosystems support a cast of extraordinary creatures found nowhere else. Koalas doze in the forks of gum trees, feeding exclusively on their leaves, while kangaroos and wallabies bound through the understory. These forests have evolved with fire, many species even depending on it to regenerate. However, as climate change brings more frequent and intense bushfires, the resilience of these unique 134 million hectares is being tested as never before, posing a grave threat to Australia's irreplaceable natural heritage. We return to the equator, to the very heart of Africa, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The DRC is home to over 139 million hectares of forest, the second largest contiguous rainforest on Earth after the Amazon. This is the Congo Basin, a magnificent and sprawling wilderness that is vital for the health of the entire continent, and indeed the planet. Its immense canopy breathes moisture into the atmosphere, influencing rainfall patterns far across Africa. The Congo River, a vast, brown serpent, winds its way through this forest, creating a network of waterways that supports an incredible diversity of life. Here, in the deep shade of the forest, live our closest living relatives, the chimpanzee and the bonobo. Forest elephants, a distinct and more elusive species than their savanna cousins, move silently through the dense vegetation, creating pathways used by countless other animals. Gorillas, the gentle giants of the forest, live in family groups led by powerful silverbacks. The forests of the DRC are a treasure trove of biodiversity, but they are also a lifeline for tens of millions of people who depend on them for food, medicine, and shelter. Protecting this vital ecosystem from illegal logging, mining, and conflict is one of the greatest conservation challenges of our time. Our journey now takes an eastward turn to the most populous nation on Earth, China. It may be a land of sprawling megacities, but it is also a country of immense forests, ranking 5th in the world with a staggering 227 million hectares. This enormous figure is not just a legacy of nature. It is, in large part, the result of human endeavor. Over the past several decades, China has undertaken the largest and most ambitious afforestation programs in human history. The Great Green Wall is a monumental effort to plant billions of trees to combat desertification and soil erosion, particularly in the country's arid north. These efforts have dramatically increased China's forest cover, a remarkable achievement that is visible even from space. The forests themselves are incredibly diverse, ranging from the tropical rainforests of Hainan Island in the south to the cold temperate forests of the northeast, which provide a crucial habitat for the last remaining wild Siberian tigers and Amur leopards. These new and old forests play a critical role in absorbing pollution, protecting watersheds that supply water to hundreds of millions, and providing a sanctuary for unique species like the giant panda and the golden snub-nosed monkey. China's story is a powerful example of how determined, large-scale action can begin to reverse centuries of deforestation. We cross the Pacific Ocean to North America, to the United States, which comes in at number 4 with an impressive 309 million hectares of forest. This vast woodland contributes significantly to the continent's green mantle, stretching across an incredible diversity of climates and landscapes. It is, honestly, a continental tapestry woven from many different threads. In the west, we find the temperate rainforests of the Pacific Northwest, where ancient Douglas firs and Sitka spruce tower hundreds of feet into the air, their branches draped in moss. Further inland stand the magnificent giant sequoias of California, the most massive living things on the planet, silent sentinels that have stood for over 3,000 years. The eastern half of the country tells a different story. Here, the great deciduous forests of the Appalachian Mountains burst into a spectacular display of red, orange, and gold every autumn. These woodlands are home to black bears, white-tailed deer, and a rich variety of bird life. From the cypress swamps of the south to the pine forests of the Rocky Mountains and the vast aspen groves of the west, the forests of the United States are a vital national resource. They provide clean water, timber, and countless recreational opportunities, while also sequestering enormous amounts of carbon, playing a key role in the continent's ecological health. We now travel north to the United States neighbor Canada, a nation defined by its immense wilderness. Ranking third, Canada possesses nearly 369 million hectares of forest. The majority of this is boreal forest, or taiga, a vast biome that encircles the northern part of the globe like a great green crown. This immense forest stretches from the Atlantic coast of Newfoundland to the Pacific shores of British Columbia, a seemingly endless sea of spruce, pine, and fir trees interspersed with countless pristine lakes, rivers, and wetlands. It is a landscape forged by ice and time, rugged and breathtakingly beautiful. This northern realm is a haven for some of North America's most iconic wildlife. Vast herds of caribou migrate across its expanse, wolves hunt in silent, coordinated packs, and the mighty grizzly bear roams its territories. The Canadian boreal forest is one of the largest intact forest ecosystems left on Earth. It is the world's single largest terrestrial carbon storehouse, holding nearly twice as much carbon in its soils, peatlands, and trees as the world's tropical forests combined. Its health is therefore of global importance, and its stewardship is a profound responsibility, protecting a wilderness that is fundamental to the stability of the planet's climate. Our penultimate destination takes us back to South America, to the undisputed giant of the tropics, Brazil. With 486 million hectares of forest, Brazil ranks a clear second in the world. The vast majority of this is, of course, the Amazon rainforest, the largest and most biodiverse tropical rainforest on Earth. Often called the lungs of the planet, the Brazilian Amazon is a world unto itself, generating its own weather systems and harboring an estimated 10% of all known species. Its scale is almost impossible to comprehend. A single hectare can contain more tree species than all of Europe. This incredible ecosystem stores a quarter of all the carbon found on land, making its preservation absolutely critical in the global effort to combat climate change. But the Amazon is facing an existential threat. Deforestation, driven primarily by cattle ranching and agriculture, continues to carve away at its edges, threatening not only its unparalleled biodiversity, but also the stability of the global climate. The fate of the toucan, the sloth, the poison dart frog, and countless other species, many yet to be discovered, depends on the choices made here. Brazil holds a treasure of incalculable value, not just for itself, but for all of humanity. Finally, we arrive at the number one nation, a country of truly continental scale, Russia. With over 832 million hectares of forest, Russia leads the world by an immense margin. This colossal expanse of trees makes up roughly 1/5 of the entire planet's forest cover. The overwhelming majority of this is the Siberian Taiga, a seemingly infinite wilderness that stretches for thousands of miles across northern Asia. It is the largest forested region on Earth, a land of harsh extremes with long, brutally cold winters and short, mild summers. Larch, pine, spruce, and birch are the dominant trees, adapted to survive in this challenging environment. This vast remote forest is one of the last great wildernesses. It is the realm of the magnificent Siberian tiger, the largest cat in the world, which stalks its prey through the snowy landscape. Brown bears, wolves, lynx, and sable also find refuge in its immense depths. Like its Canadian counterpart, the Russian taiga is a colossal store of carbon, locked away in its trees and frozen soils. Its sheer size means that what happens in these forests has a global impact. As the climate warms, the threat of larger and more frequent wildfires, as well as the potential thawing of permafrost, poses a significant risk, making the stewardship of this 832 million hectare giant a matter of worldwide concern. Our journey across the globe has revealed the monumental scale of our planet's forests. From the Amazon's humid depths to the frozen expanse of the Siberian taiga, we have seen that the fate of Earth's green mantle rests largely in the hands of just 10 nations. Together, these 10 countries hold the overwhelming majority of the world's forests, a concentration of natural wealth that underscores the global importance of conservation. These are not merely national resources. They are planetary assets, crucial for regulating our climate, purifying our air and water, and sheltering an irreplaceable diversity of life. Their protection is a shared responsibility, a duty we owe to ourselves and to all the species with whom we share this world. The future of these vast woodlands is uncertain, facing threats from deforestation, climate change, and unsustainable practices. Yet, there is also hope in the growing awareness of their importance and in the conservation efforts, both large and small, that are taking place around the world. The stories of these forests are a powerful reminder of our deep connection to the natural world and the profound impact of our actions. By understanding where these vital ecosystems are and the pressures they face, we can better support the efforts to protect them for the future. Preserving these green kingdoms is one of the most critical challenges of our time. If this exploration of our planet's great forests has inspired you, there is much more to discover. For more data-driven insights into our world, I encourage you to check out the Voronoi app, where you can visualize the trends and forces shaping our future. And to continue on these journeys of discovery with us, please subscribe to the channel for updates on our upcoming videos. The story of our planet is constantly unfolding, and together we can continue to explore its wonders and work towards a more sustainable future for all its inhabitants. Thank you for joining us.